gun on my waist, knife in my hand. I keep telling you cowards, I'ma leave you there right where you stand. I don't wanna talk and I ain't trying to fight with your man. Trying to get it over quick, leave you right where you stand. Some say I'm trifling, sometimes I rightfully am, but I don't give a f. I'ma leave you right where you stand. You just mad, you'll never be as nice as I am. D-block, gangstar, leave you right where you stand. They wanna know why I invest all my money in the haze and in the dope, cause right now I'm currently a slave for Interscope. Respect first.
What's going on, guys? This is Killah Cavalry with Jedi Mind Tricks Productions, bringing you something a little bit different today. This is our first ever podcast. Point of this is really just to fuck around and talk about whatever comes to mind, be it Halo, sports, politics, hip-hop, technology, you name it. I got my good friend Illconsistency with me.
Hello, guys.
So started off with tell me what games you're looking forward to. I know we got a bunch of them coming up here recently.
I'm actually excited about some of the Kinect games. They have a Gladiator game coming out. Looks like it's going to be fun. You know, I'm still skeptical of motion control first person, but it does look kind of promising to me.
Now you say Gladiator game. What do you mean? It's like Spartacus or something, or what?
Similar. I'd go more Russell Crowe with it.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that's. I thought I was trying to ask if it's like real gladiators. Are you like a pit fighter or something? Is that the deal?
I think you fight in the arena as well as maybe there's some kind of break. Like you know, a gladiator is basically a slave, so maybe he breaks out. So I guess it is, as far as storyline, is a little more related to Spartacus, but it seems to deal a lot more in the arena than it did. So.
And then it's Kinect, so it's going to be basically you swinging your sword hand or whatever to control it.
Swing, you get a shield, you can kick. There's also another game. It's some kind of horror game that basically you're walking through a murderer's house.
Let's clarify for the people at home. Was that a horror game or a horror game?
Yes, that was a horror game.
Okay.
although I would enjoy a horror game,
especially in the Kinect. Right.
But yeah, you walking through a murderer's house. You're facing ghouls and goblins and demons and whatnot, and that also looks promising. But you know me, I'm a big scary fan, horror movie. And there's a
made it sound like you were just a scary fan, like a stalker.
Well, I didn't want to say horror movie. I'm a horror fan. You know, I dabble in horrors. No, but they got Dead Island coming out.
Oh yes, that looks delicious.
Excited about.
Me too. I love zombie movies and games and books and you name it.
Basically a combination of Resident Evil and Dead Rising. Basically, you pick up anything you want, but it's the first person. So.
But it's also got the multiplayer aspect where you can team up with people online, like drop in, drop out, make your own weapons, which that's kind of like Half-Life a little bit.
As well as Dead Rising 2. Yeah.
Oh yeah, that is like Dead Rising. Okay.
To be fair though, Half-Life did have it first. So.
Well, this podcast isn't about being fair.
Other than that, of course, Halo, the anniversary edition of CE.
Yes.
Be quite scrumptious, diddly umptious.
Before we get to that, let's get back to the Kinect. Now, you talked to me about this Gladiator game, and I can see how swinging your sword and using your shield would work and kicking or whatever, but I still don't know how they solved the problem of moving around with the Kinect. Like, how do you run around in the pit? Are you just pretty much standing still and facing forward? Is it kind of like a Left 4 Dead type thing where you're just like facing forward, like one of those old arcade games? You can't really move around.
No, I'm not really sure with this one. I noticed on the Star Wars, it's basically on a train track type deal. You know, you don't got control of where he goes. But I mean, you were able to tweak it a little bit as far as, like, you could jump towards an enemy or, you know, sidestep an oncoming attack. But, yeah, as far as it goes, I'm pretty sure it's on a train track, so that's kind of disappointing. But, you know, just the they're still starting with motion control. It's still in the openings, I think, and I think it's gonna eventually get to where take a step. You're gonna take a step in the game.
The only problem with that is, like, you start running around your living room, you only have so much space. Trying to get away from somebody, you end up knocking over, like, a side table or something.
Well, I've seen some games where you could, like, take cover behind your couch, stuff like that.
Yeah.
That's kind of cool. I don't know. As soon as you stand back up, of course, you're back on the train track. But, yeah, I agree. That is a problem as far as room goes. You might have to take it outside.
Yeah, I don't think that I don't blame the Kinect for that as much as it's just a conceptual problem that people haven't been able to solve yet. I'm sure somebody's going to come up with some kind of clever idea in the future. We just haven't got there yet. Like, even if... Do you remember back in the day, like, I never known anybody to own one, but back when Sega and Super Nintendo were out, there was, like, this little octagon. We seen it, like, in GamePro magazine. It might not have even been released. No, well,
like a vest or something?
Yeah, I remember the vest too, and like that had like a subwoofer built in, and it would like basically like try to hurt you, so you felt the game's pain, like it would hit the subwoofer, like hit you like some low end bass.
Horrible idea.
Yeah, this isn't fun at all.
The one you stand in.
Yeah, like it was like an old school Kinect before there was a Kinect. Like it was supposed to be like in a street fighting game, like it would detect what you were doing, and you just stand in the little octagon. Like I don't believe it even existed. I think that was just like an idea that never came about, but.
Probably. And if it did, it would probably have been horrible glitches. And terrible bugs. But
like, if they could make something like that, like something like a little octagon or something that you sit in the middle of your living room, and it almost had like a treadmill type surface that can move in any direction. But it would have to be smooth. Like it wouldn't, you're not trying to work out. I mean, this is a video game. Come on, it's just, but just like real slick motion to where like you can move it in any direction. And you would look stupid as hell, but that would kind of solve the walking problem. I don't know. But then
you basically run it in place. But hey, that is a good idea. Like, it's basically you like walking on a ball that's rolling.
Yeah.
What you're saying. Kind of like an old trackball mouse or something.
Well, except for it'd be flat, because I mean, if it was an actual ball, people would be busting their ass.
Yeah, right.
But then even then, that doesn't solve the problem of how do you turn around. Like if something's behind you. Like, let's say you're like one of those games, like a Kinect game, where you're actually holding up a fake gun or holding up your hand for a gun or something, and you're just moving that around to aim instead of a joystick. Well, you hear somebody behind you. Like, how do you, if you turn around, okay, well, now you're facing your other living room wall and you're not looking at the TV anymore. I still don't see how that problem gets solved. Unless you, like, move to the very far left of the screen and then it moves over, but then it's still kind of, you don't get to turn around as quick as you should be able to. You know what I'm saying?
I noticed in like some of the Kinect games, like things I would thought that they couldn't have done, like getting way off from the Kinect side, it still picks you up somehow. But a lot of it's gestures, so maybe like a gesture somehow to turn around.
Oh yeah,
they've also
that's a good idea. I didn't think about that. Like they've done a lot with that. Like Apple with the their MacBooks and stuff. There's all kind of gestures now for the trackpad. You can do all kinds of cool stuff, and I didn't even think about that. That's a good idea.
Yeah. As far as like gestures go, like they just made the Ghost Recon, I believe it was, where you can build your own guns, like piece by piece, and it's called Gunsmith or something. Basically, like you put your hands together and pull them apart, and the gun comes apart. And you can see every individual piece, like the gas chamber and the hammer, trigger. You can change every specific little. Wow. But a gesture would probably solve that. I mean, it still wouldn't be you fully spinning.
Sorry.
But Nobody told me I was getting beat on this show.
I'm sorry, sir. Please continue. Like, what the fuck?
You want to stop talking to say something. No, but as far as the controller-based games, I'm very excited about Halo, Dead Island again.
Oh yeah.
Gears of War 3, I'm very excited about just for the story. I know you're against the multiplayer, and that I pretty much am too. I can't really stand it. It's too fast paced, and I don't know. It just doesn't feel right. I'm used to Halo, Call of Duty.
Yeah, I mean, I think that's why I'm not a big Gears fan, because for so long multiplayer has kind of sucked. Let's be honest. In Gears of War, like, it was a huge problem in the first one, and they've tried to fix it. Like this one, they're really focusing on it, but that's why I haven't liked it, because when I buy games, and this might be considered blasphemy, like, I really don't play the single player in any Halo. Like, if I'm playing it with you, and I always go right to the multiplayer. I mean, that's where I find my fun, is playing against a live human opponent, somebody that can think critically. And not everybody does that, but there are some good ones out there.
I think there are a lot of people who don't even play the single player. I think there is a good majority of people that go straight to the multiplayer.
Yeah.
I mean, that is a lot of the focus on games today, is multiplayer.
Well, I think that's helped game developers, because for a long time, everybody's focus was on trying to make a smarter AI or a better AI. But a lot of times that was just a fallacy. It was just a pretense, because what they would actually do is give the AI a bunch of advantages, and then give the your player a bunch of disadvantages. Like less health, give them more health, more enemies, whatever. And they would try to create a challenge that way. Yeah, but with multiplayer, you don't have to program an AI. You just basically design the environment, and then you let actual people do all the work. So I think that's part of the reason why that's an appeal for a lot of game developers now.
I know it's a little early. What's your expectations on Halo 4?
Oh, buddy. I think that I'm going to go on and grade that an incomplete right now, and table my judgment until after I see Halo CE, because I think that's going to let me know pretty strongly about what 343 is all about. I mean, I'm being optimistic, because you hear all the stories, and I think this is kind of a part of it is a hype machine. But you hear all the stories about 343, has a lot of the people from Halo 2, from Bungie. But I think that story's coming out because Halo 2's considered by most people to be the best Halo ever. So it's kind of like, hey, you liked Halo 2, guys. Well, look what we have.
Here's the Halo 2 guy.
Yeah, exactly. So I'm going to see how that one is, like, and it's going to give me a feel for what to expect. Now, it's not going to be complete, because I wouldn't even go so far as to say this is 343's first Halo game. It's kind of a joint adventure, because it's really Bungie's game, and they're just remaking Bungie's game, and they're using the Reach engine, which is Bungie's engine. But it's going to be under their guidance. They're going to set up their ranking system, which we'll talk about, and it's going to kind of dictate about what they consider important, and what kind of gameplay they're after, and that's going to give me a feel for what to expect.
Right. Yeah, I'm pretty much on the fence as well. I do want to see what they do with Combat Evolved. I just committed suicide, but
did you try to jump off?
Yeah, I did. But I got big expectations for the story. I hope they go good with it, because I gotta be honest, I got chills when I finished Halo 3 as far as the campaign. Yeah, it was just amazing the way they ended it to me.
I've heard that from a lot of people.
I hope they pick right back up.
I mean,
and I'm so excited to see the return of Master Chief. That's my boy right there.
Yeah. I just want to clarify that I don't think that I didn't play the original single player or any of the Halo single players because I thought they were bad. It's just a matter of I don't know. I didn't have the patience for it, I guess. I just wanted to jump right into the multiplayer. But yeah, I've heard from anybody that's played them that they considered it really good, and Bungie actually took time to put a backstory to it. They got the books and the whole mythology behind it. It's not like Call of Duty where it's there's really nothing there. So I mean, I believe it was good.